I'll let you touch it if you like to go down. Help me out. This is TLC. Everybody knows TLC.
I'm not
It's an
going
international
down.
group.
See, I'm not about to put my voice out here like that. Don't
I
have to
like
crap.
to go further if we take the southern route. If I go too fast, just let me know. 'Cause that means you move too slow. I like 'em attentive and I like a man in control. Is that right?
And then baby.
A man that goes or a man in control?
I don't know.
Baby, it's yours, all yours. If you want it tonight, I'll give you the red light special all through the night. You know that song, Zach?
You don't?
Are you a millennial? What's your generation? What is he? Is he a millennial?
What year were you born?
98.
He is.
So he doesn't know TLC.
He should. He just don't know that song.
You just don't know one of the biggest hits off of their biggest album. We're not talking about the last one. All you know is Waterfalls, huh?
Of course he knows that one. Welcome to the
This is
Vincent-Tennell
off the
show.
same album.
How do you not know?
If you want me, let me know it.
You'll make time, bud?
You got to show it. See, you know the song.
Just a
you
little
know
bit.
the song. You were probably made off of that song, Zach. I mean, TLC is international, and I feel like white people know them.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
They're very diverse.
Yes, it's not.
They were very
I
diverse.
can't even say they're R&B. I always refer to TLC as a pop group.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because
They're pop stars.
not so much as an R&B type. Just
No.
like, they're more pop.
So it's not far-fetched to say a white person couldn't have made you off of that song.
This is true. Zach's parents was probably getting it in off that song. That's probably how you were made.
Shout out to Chili and T-Buys
Left
for
Eye.
our sound guy.
What about Left Eye?
R.I.P. Left Eye.
Okay, you don't.
Well, you know what? She didn't. I mean,
Wow, don't do it. Do not do it.
She didn't contribute to that song particularly. There's no rap section. That's not me being no kind of way
But
about
she was
it.
there in spirit.
Was she?
Ask Chili.
Because
Can
you
she
know,
be a
around that
silly
time,
hoe?
she was around her nigga, the football.
Is this before or after the
Remember she burned down the house?
burning? She tried to burn his tub.
Listen, she didn't
The
have
clothes.
time for the R&B track. She had things to do.
Oh my, she did. I don't think she meant for the whole house to burn down. Because apparently, allegedly, she was kind of like she just tried to burn his clothes in the tub and didn't know it was going to catch on fire.
I mean, that was a fucking mansion, though.
Yeah, like why? It's not that serious. You could have got some money a whole different way.
You get what I'm
You could have
saying?
went about it a whole different way. But you know, people be going, people's emotions. People getting their emotions.
I mean, she probably... Why did she go to jail, though? Oh, because it was, like, considered arson? But it was an accident. Because I know I don't think he pressed charges. I don't think that was him.
But the thing is, you know, the state can pick up things. And she definitely, like, created a hazard for everybody else in the community.
Well, she did. You know, the white folks don't play that because I know
At
that's
all.
where they were. Okay, the HOA Association, what you call them, Homeowners Association, they don't play. But I don't even think we did our intro.
We didn't.
Tell the people who you are.
Petite Nina,
What's your age?
21,
What's your social security number?
555. 21, 555.
My name is Vincent-Tennell, a.k.a. Vinnie Poppins, because like Pringles, ain't no stopping.
Ooh, ain't no stopping.
And we also have our sound guy, who
Hey.
we talked about earlier. Zach, do you have a stage name? But he is a part of the Hangovers. He
Yes.
is the,
Wow.
what are you? Is it like bass? Electric guitar.
Electric guitar.
The Hangovers, you can find their music on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, all of it.
Oh.
They're
I'll
on
give
top
up.
of it.
And right here with us.
I also want to let the people know the Vincent-Tennell show with Petite Nina is on Spotify as well. And we're on Google Podcast and we're on YouTube. And a lot of people have thanked us for putting it on Spotify. Yes. I was not aware people use Spotify like that because I don't use Spotify like that.
I didn't know either.
But you know what? It's good because for us, our audience.
Because it's, yes. So I'm still not even on Spotify like that. So what exactly is Spotify?
Well, is
it like a music platform like YouTube?
Yes, it's music.
Okay.
Their main focus is music, but they have extended it into podcast.
Okay.
Which is why there's the big thing about Joe Rogan getting the $1 million deal on Spotify.
Is that how you got that?
Yeah.
From Spotify.
And that's why people were like, should they boycott Spotify? I'm a little over the boycotts.
It's so overrated.
Because, first of all, people don't stick to it anyway.
They don't.
I remember when they tried to boycott Dove, and I was like, I have sensitive skin. I need Dove. What else am I going to use?
Too.
Like, y'all need to find something else.
Find something else, because this is not it.
But you know what? I always say, us, black folk, we be so strong in what we're going to do and stand for until it comes, I always say this, until it comes to food.
Yeah.
And R. Kelly.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Let me explain.
Okay, because I'm like, wait. Okay,
you were all in. You were like, yeah.
R. Kelly, wait a minute. What? Okay,
and I say this because I tried the Arizona fruit snacks.
Are they good?
Yes. And I don't like Arizona tea. I've been stopped drinking that.
You don't like Arizona tea?
I stopped drinking it since high school.
I like Arizona tea.
I used to like it.
And then they got like the half and half.
I got on my diets and they said,
oh, here we go.
No.
I like the half and half. I really like the half and half. Like the half.
I remember it used to be good. These fruit snacks are fire. But all I could think about is, oh my gosh, Trayvon Martin with the Arizona tea and the Skittles. I'm like, they didn't even pay for the boy fucking funeral.
They didn't.
We should have boycotted that.
But you know what?
But when it comes to food, do not rely on black folks to have your back. Because if it came between me and y'all boycotting Coca-Cola, if my life depended on it, I'm dead.
Do you remember when they did a boycott here in Springfield and like everybody around the world was like boycotting and walking around, but in Springfield they was like lazy boycotting. They were boycotting in their cars.
I remember that.
Like they were like so late. And I know this because I was working security at the Horace Mann building. You know that Jefferson is a main street.
Yes.
So I'm working and I'm like everyone's walking in this. They like boycotted so safely, like and so lazily.
I remember we had a good laugh off of that.
Yes, like they were boycotting in their cars and just putting signs. They really weren't trying to boycott because they really weren't trying to go to jail, but they really were trying to, like it wasn't
really
real
about that life.
It really wasn't like
but I'm gonna tell my children
that I boycotted back in so and so. They weren't pulling up
slaving in the sun.
Right. And they're like in the car, in the AC, just putting signs, just like riding past Horace Mann, just like blowing the horn with signs on their cars.
I almost forgot about that.
I thought that shit was a parade, to be honest. Like it was just
was a parade.
It was so crazy because I'm like, this is the boycott that they're doing.
It was no different than when in COVID, like people were doing the birthday parades where they drive by because nobody.
And that's exactly how it looked. Like it really wasn't like
that's not a protest.
It wasn't. It was just like, what are y'all doing? Like you guys aren't like getting out, walking, sweating, walking the miles.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? They really was like in their cars, just like driving down, like stopping at red lights.
That's how you know people really do stuff all for a picture. Because what they did had that phone out. Look at us, you guys.
You know, we just talked about that in the last podcast. Like people just want that attention.
Yes,
they want that attention. Because as soon as I got through Jefferson, they went right home. Like, ooh, I did that. Like y'all didn't sweat nothing.
If it came down to real boycotts,
Springfield's not it.
Springfield's not it. And I always say niggas fold over food.
They do.
And we talked about in the last podcast how I can do a diet. Like that's nothing to me. But what I noticed when I did my diets is how much it hurts. I'm gonna say people, but we are black, so we're talking about black people. That's you know what I mean? Our people really have a struggle and a fight when it comes to food.
100%.
You tell them they can't have something, and we've seen this, people dying in the hospital. The doctors say, hey, lay off the pork or whatever.
They can't.
They cannot. They won't. They're like, well, I'm just gonna go out
and I'm gonna eat what I want to eat.
What I want, happy, like, and just stroked out.
But you know what? I'm not like, I don't have a problem with that. But you know what? Like, even with the issues that I have with my neck and stuff like that, like some things like I have to stop eating. Like, even though I don't want to, I have to. Like, even when I was pregnant, I had I somehow became a diabetic. And you know what I'm saying? I couldn't eat, but it was a life or death situation for me and the baby.
And I was so scared for you.
I know.
I was like, do I need to come over and be your personal chef?
Because it was like the littlest thing, and that's when I did not know that apples had so much sugar in it. Because I craved McDonald's oatmeal with the apples.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, but my sugar level would spike up, and they're like, apples are so sweet, it's all sugar. I'm like, what?
I looked in your refrigerator.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, girl, you cannot do this.
Exactly, because it was like a life or death. It
me
was
as
so
your
crazy.
friend, I'm like, no, for real, I'm serious.
It was serious,
you get what I'm saying?
Seriously,
it's such a fight.
It's hard. It's hard. It really
for a lot
is
of people. I'm an anomaly. When I say, oh, I can ace, that's not everybody.
It's not.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a tough fight.
Yes.
And you know, with me, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a smoker.
You're not really out there like that.
My kryptonite is like
it's
food.
the food.
So
Yeah.
they take
It's how we treat ourselves.
And then, you know, with the pregnancy, even like I had lost so much weight because I got so sick. And then I started getting better, and then I can eat whatever. But then I got diabetic. I became a diabetic, so then I couldn't eat. So I'm just like, this is so bad. Like, yeah, it was all bad. And then you didn't want to make me spaghetti.
I always make you spaghetti.
And sat on my porch for 5 hours.
Don't do that. And even when you're talking about the protest, when you used to do security,
you used to bring me food.
I used to bring you food.
You did.
I told y'all I can keep a nigga because I know how to cook.
You did used to bring me food. I was all up in my skin. Thank you so much, friend.
But I was like, do you need a everyday chef? Because I'm
like, at this point,
I don't cook every day, but
if I need to,
you were
then
not.
Yeah.
I just feel like you weren't taking it serious.
I wasn't until like the last thing, and I started looking up stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my baby's not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. It became serious. Like they wanted to put me on insulin.
Yeah.
And I had to like take my blood sugar 4 times a day. It was just all crazy. I'm like, yeah, okay, I gotta get serious.
And you know, my mom.
But you feel good after you actually do it and stick to it. You feel good.
That's
like,
what I said.
I was like, I can't do this, but once I did it, I'm like, I actually feel good about this.
Because people be like, why should I give up what I like? I'm like, if you actually gave it up in like, you know, they say 21 days to break a bad habit.
Yeah.
You really do feel better, and you almost don't want it, but you gotta 21 days. 21. You know what I mean?
Yes. But you know what? People fail to understand, too, that there is other products out there that could be better than what you think if you just try it. Like, some vegan food is actually really good. And it's, you know what I mean? Because, like, sometimes I've, like, went to this place and I'm like, I'm not going to eat this and this. And I'm like, this is all they have? This is vegan. But it actually was good. Like, oh, wait, I can do this. I'd eat this on a regular anyway. Yes. It's actually better than the real thing. Like,
and that's me now. Like, I'm not vegetarian anymore.
Right. I remember you were a vegetarian.
But I still eat vegetarian meals. I don't have to have meat.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
You're like, I'm okay if I don't. Because I remember you were really like eating no meat.
I was
and
serious.
I think you stopped eating seafood too, didn't you?
For a while.
You stopped eating seafood for a while.
That was my struggle.
Yes.
If there was any time, because I love my salmon.
Yes, you stopped eating seafood. And I'm just like, okay. Are you sure? Like, this is what you want?
I was not sure, but.
You were not. Seafood.
My whole thing is I needed to experience it.
Yes.
To know what I respond to well, what I don't respond to as well. Yes. So then you can kind of figure out what works for you.
But everybody has their kryptonite.
Everybody does when it's life and death. I mean.
Perfect example. My mom is back in the hospital.
Oh, no.
They had to send her to the hospital day before yesterday. She's still in there.
And I had just asked you about her a week ago.
And it was so weird because I talked to her last night. She called. She's like, hey, I'm off tomorrow, Wednesday, today. She's like, I'm off. She's like, I'm trying to figure out what, because, you know, she had just got out the hospital not long ago. So she was like last month.
That's why I was checking on her.
Exactly. And I told her, I'm like, oh, she's doing better. Mm-hmm. So she calls me and she's like, hey, what's that medicine? You know what I'm saying? That you said you had too for the stuff that was going on with your neck that they gave me when I got to the hospital. I told her what the name of the medicine was. And she was kind of like out of it a little bit. And I'm like, Mom, did you hear me? And she's like, huh? I'm like, did you hear what I said? She's like, oh, yeah, I heard you. I'm like, okay. Then she asked me again, what was that medicine? I'm like, I just told you. Are you okay? And then we would talk back and forth, and then she'd just get quiet. So me not thinking anything, I'm like, okay, maybe she's just in her own little world. So I hang up the phone. 15 minutes later, my dad calls me to tell me they had to rush her to the hospital.
That saddens me.
I know. And like I told her, I talked to her today, and like I told her, like, this is becoming scary because you went from going every couple months to the hospital to now you're going every single month.
Yes.
You know, and now it's affecting your heart. So, like, it's kind of scary because it's just like, but with that being said,
I mean, is there anything she can do?
Yeah, stop smoking.
That's tough for a lot of people.
And see, and that's the thing. She's on oxygen. She even has a sign in her window that says no smoking on the premises, oxygen tank present. But she's a smoker. You know what I mean? But
my neighbor used to be like that.
Right, but you know, I'm not a smoker. I've never been a smoker, so I don't know the struggle. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's easy for me to be like, just stop. It's your life or death. You know what
My
I'm
mom
saying?
smokes too.
Yeah.
And I used to hide her cigarettes.
And it did nothing.
Oh my gosh, fighting, raging, mad.
Yeah.
Monster.
You're like, I'm trying to help you, but they don't see it like
shit,
that.
I'll give it back.
Right. And that's
you know what I
it is.
mean?
You know,
yeah.
my mom, like when she got the hospital this last time, she had a patch and she was still smoking a cigarette. And it wasn't as bad, but she still was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like I said, my thing is like, I'm like, it's a cigarette smoke. You should be able to do that. But I'm the same person that's like, I can't give up the steak type ordeal. So it's just like, can I judge? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a big thing. It's a battle.
A lot of people, that cigarette, man.
Yeah.
And
then they say they go to vapes, but vapes are worse, I heard. Vapes are worse, I heard.
I'm the lowest percent. I'm trying to quit. I actually...
Were you a smoker first? You never been a smoker? So you just started with vapes?
But they say that's worse.
They say vapes
I've
are
heard
worse.
that's worse.
I'm sure like the sheer amount of nicotine intake is because it's such a...
So direct. So direct.
Yeah, and then you're just, you go through...
But why are you... Why are you trying to quit though?
Is there something, or you just want to?
I mean, I encourage it, but,
I just want to. I've been doing it for so long. I never wanted to really start.
Was it like a peer pressure thing when you started?
No, you hit it. And you're like,
the little high it gives you.
Yeah.
And then when you drink, I heard when you drink, people smoke more when they drink because it increases it. It increases the, it increases the
they
drunk.
smoke more when they drink.
Like my mom smokes more when she drinks. A lot of people smoke more when they drink. It increases it somehow.
For sure.
It increases.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like, but I've never been a smoker. But, I had the shit in my neck, and I'm just like, I've never been a smoker. So it's just like, does it matter?
I mean, I used to work with this man who, he used to chew tobacco.
Like, ugh, I hate that. I hate that.
And as terrible as his teeth looked, he was not giving that shit up.
He didn't care. Do you chew tobacco? You look like you chew tobacco.
He does look like it because he looks
That's
like those old time
days.
people who would do that
Look,
shit.
and even like you just later, it looks like you have tobacco in your cheek right now. Like you look like you can be the person that chews tobacco. Yeah.
Back when it was cool and they didn't know the health dangers.
Exactly. See, you got it. That's it. Like I know, and it's like I guess it eats up your inside of your mouth and your gums. Like I just.
But he didn't it's a struggle. So like you say, when we don't smoke, we kind of we're looking from the outside in,
and it's easy to be like, you can just stop. Just like I said, it's like people can just be like, you just stop eating. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple.
Or the person that, like you said, you're like, if you didn't have that demand for yourself, you know what I mean? That self-control, like you said, you're like, I think I'd be big as a house. But you have that demand. Everybody doesn't have that self-control.
And what I found out through a nutritionist.
Yes.
Because I'm such a fucking nerd.
Yes, I had to do
She said a lot of people have an attachment to food in their childhood. She said she had a guy, he grew up always wanting steak, but his family could never afford it. So when he got a job
and he can afford it,
he always made a point he's always going to have steak.
And that just eventually just...
Yes. And so when she suggested he don't have steak...
It was like pulling teeth.
She actually told his daughter, which brought... the nutritionist was actually brought in by the daughter.
Okay.
She was like, you might as well get ready to say your goodbyes.
Because he's not going to stop.
Because
it stemmed from childhood.
Yes, because she actually is like a cross between psychologist and nutritionist. But she's like...
But you got to kind of be in that job.
If that's embedded in your head...
There's no giving it up.
That steak was, for him, the symbol of success. And you're taking away his symbol of success.
You're saying
you want him to live like a failure.
You're like, right, because he's like, I can afford... But, I get that. I get that. And
I got it, too.
I get that
immediately when she said that, I said, that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. It does, because that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I just like food because, like I said, I think boredom. Sometimes. And what's so crazy, I say that, but I'm never bored because I'm always
doing something.
And that's what I said, like, so it's just like... And
it could be anxious.
But I do suffer from anxiety. And that's the thing, I got to be like
you gotta
doing
nibble
something.
on something.
But that's a problem when people have a hard time stop smoking because they got to have something in their hand.
Didn't they say, they used to say, put a pencil in your hand?
And it sounds stupid, but it's just that motion.
Yes.
It's just that motion of like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have something. It's just like, it's so embedded in you. You just like you just have
the
to
habit of it.
The habit.
Yes.
And then eventually, or stress.
Stress.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why when I said my mom was in the hospital last time, I did not want to tell her about my grandmother because
something's always going to, in life, things are always going to happen. Yeah. Something's always going to make you stress. So the temptation's always going to be there.
But then it goes back from, if it's not that, then it's something else.
Yes.
You just got to pick your poison.
I told you I like to space out my vices.
Yeah.
Gotta wait till I'm 60, then I want to be a crackhead.
I mean, it'd be like that. But you know, people have, or like I had a coworker, and like he, it's like crazy. To me, it's crazy, but it's pretty cool. So like, he has a routine every night. He eats a bowl of cereal every night. Like, that's just his thing. And he's like 50, 60 years old. But that's his thing. He eats a bowl of cereal every night. He eats 2 bowls of cereal. He'll smoke 1 cigarette. He'll eat a bowl of cereal, drink the milk. He'll eat the second bowl of cereal, and then put the milk down on the floor for the cat to drink the milk.
Wow.
Like, it's like habit, and he does it every night, like routine. But you take that away,
When
it's
you take
just gonna
away
be like,
a person's how they live, everyone don't like change.
They don't.
And I mean, I
and that
feel
can
like
kill people. That can
yes,
like when
that's
when
like
a couple
older
that's together, for so long, and then that person goes.
heartbreak.
Heartbreak is a real thing.
Or have you ever taken an older person out of their home that they lived in for 50 years and put them in a nursing home or a different setting, and they just go way down because they're like, I want to be in my house.
That's how my grandmother was when she rest her soul. Like that's how she was. It was just like, we're like, Grandma, you got this big old house. You don't need it anymore. You can't even get out of bed. You've been bedridden for like 2 years. Like, let's get downsized. And to us, it's like, just sell it. You know, get something smaller. But to her, it's like, this is home.
This is home.
This is where I want to go.
You
This
can't
is home.
take away somebody's home.
You can't take away someone's home. Especially, that's her peace spot. To
Yes.
us, we're like, what are you doing? You can't do this. You can't, you know, but that was her peace. You know what I mean? And that's why I made sure, like, when she went, I'm like, put her back in her home. Like, this is where she wants to go. You know what I mean? Because it's embedded in you.
Your home is your safety net.
It is.
So you want to go safe.
Safe.
And feel safe.
You want to feel safe.
And I think there's such a hypocrisy around the talk of change because people all day long changing for the better,
But
growth, and
every time change is not always good.
I don't think it's always good either.
Change is not always good. I was talking to a friend of mine too, and she was like, we were talking about relationships and we were talking about stuff in general. She was like, when people be like, say you are with someone and you be like, oh, he did a whole 360. She made a very valid point. She's like, I don't want my man to do a 360 because when you do a 360, you go right back to where you were.
Yeah.
It's like, do like a 320 or a 180 or something like that. Don't do a 360 because a 360 is a full circle. So if you're doing it, and people be like, he did a complete 360. Like, you don't want him to do a 360 because, or her, you know what I'm saying? Because it goes right back to where you started.
I have a theory. I don't even believe people actually change. I
don't.
think people are who they are at a very young age.
They already know.
I mean, you know, psychologists like to say 25. I think people have it who they are going to be way earlier than that.
You have to.
And I think when people say, oh, they switched up on me, actually, that's who they've already been.
They just, they're just showing you who they're showing their true colors.
They got tired of the mask.
Exactly. Showing their true colors.
Because I've always believed, oh, they changed when they got money. No. They've always been that deceitful, nasty person.
But that's how it's been. You know
they
what I mean?
they was putting on for you.
So they can get that. But that's when I go back to like when a person's a celebrity and say you're poor, you have psychological issues, you're suicidal, you're a dirty person, you're a nasty person, and now you got all this money. That doesn't take away that you're a dirty person, you're a nasty person. Maybe you can pay somebody to clean your house now. It doesn't take away mentally that you're still suicidal. And that's why you have those people that are millionaires and they commit suicide. And you're just like, I don't get it. They had everything. But they were suffering. But then you go back in their childhood and it's like, they were suffering for this before they became the fame.
Way before.
Like, making money, it's not that it changes people. It actually can sometimes bring out who the person really was. The whole time.
All the time. And we've had this conversation before on the phone to where I said, with money, people can't say he got bougie. I'm bougie poor.
Exactly.
Poor as fuck now.
We had that conversation.
I still put my scarf over my left shoulder and I cock my head to the side.
Going to McDonald's. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
I've always been bougie ever since I was little. I remember in school we had like a nerd day.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like
a theme day or something.
Preppy.
Okay.
The thing was preppy. And so I wore my little uniform. Everybody's like,
really?
That's you every day. That's what they told me.
Right, but that's who I am. But that's how it is. Like, people don't, like you said, I don't think people really actually change. They just...
No. Like, I'm bougie, poor. You can't say I switched. No, I've always been bougie.
That's
bougie, poor, bougie with money.
It doesn't matter. and that's the thing, though. Like, I was talking to...
I'm not putting on no mask for y'all.
Exactly. And that's the thing. People, like you said, they put on the mask. And then when the mask comes down, it's like, what haven't they changed?
Yeah,
No, they were always like
they didn't
that.
change.
They were always like that.
But to wrap this up, I said food. The what will bring you black people down is food and R. Kelly.
How did R. Kelly? Because people don't want to get pissed off.
Zach wants to know how this all ties together.
Right. Food and piss. That's it. Let's get it. Food and piss.
That is not where I'm going with this.
Okay, sorry.
It's actually PG.
Oh,
but for R. Kelly, maybe that's not a good thing. Stay away from the PG-13.
Right, that's the problem we're having now. You gotta bring it back to there.
I was gonna say, everybody loves to say, I'm not listening to R. Kelly anymore. But once that right song come on,
they vibing,
hands up, popping. When Step in the Name of Love come on,
they want to jump on the bandwagon so bad.
You can't tell the
really
Chicago Steppers they not gonna do what they do.
But it's the same thing with Old Town Road. Everybody loved that song, and then when they found out that he was gay, they're like, I can't listen to that song no more. Just because his sexuality has nothing to do with you. Like, you can still like a song, you can still like somebody's music. That doesn't mean they're not talented because of their sexual preference. Like, make that make sense. And that was the thing. Like, Lil Nas X, like that song, like everybody loved the song.
I was really confused because I thought the song was gay as fuck when I heard it.
When you're like, how did they not know?
I'm like, Wrangler on my booty, and
they weren't paying attention.
I don't know if this was a rumor or not, but someone had told me the original lyrics was, I'm going to go, like, to the Old Town Road. Like, that referred to as, like, prostitution or a brothel or something.
I believe that.
And then Ride No More was riding on top. I don't know who told me that, and I don't even know if it's true.
But it's just
I was like, well, it kind of makes sense.
But when
listening to the lyrics, a lot of stuff is innuendos.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
People just don't see it.
Right.
Until they see it.
Right.
And it's like,
and so I was like, okay, so how y'all not
know?
I'm just thinking everybody cool with it. I'm like,
Old Town Road. But it's just like I said, it's just weird. People are they want to be so like everybody else. Like, it's okay to be yourself.
It's okay to like an R. Kelly song.
It's okay to like R. Kelly still.
I know I'll be playing them.
I like R. Kelly.
Remember
he came here for like 2 seconds? He sung for 2 seconds.
Because they didn't pay him his
People were so
money.
pissed.
Well, they should have paid him.
He sung for 2 seconds.
He took pictures. He was very nice, everybody said.
Was he nice?
That's what they say.
There was a lot of people out too that day. I don't even know what kind of event it was. Was there a motorcycle thing going on when he came?
Was it?
Because there was a lot of people outside.
Was that the same weekend?
Was it?
It may have been.
Because people came out from North Carolina. People were like, was it a bikers thing?
Because we did have a bikers convention, and it was like a lot of black bikers too.
It was.
And they had put that fine ass man on the stage on the register.
I remember.
You remember that?
I remember.
Oh my God.
Springfield was popping.
For a weekend. For a whole
weekend.
weekend.
People were coming from out of town to come to Springfield. Like, what was that?
And then they was having like concerts. I took my aunt to a concert at the fairgrounds.
Concerts within concerts.
Where they be singing like them blues songs.
How was it?
It was popping.
Did you go to the
And it was concert? Black. That was the thing. It was black people.
Really?
Yes.
See, I don't know what happened, but Springfield had some events. And I'm just like, oh, okay, putting Springfield on the map, and then COVID hit.
I really do feel like we were kind of on a
up and up.
We were.
Yeah, because shit was happening. I'm like, okay, Springfield, let me not sleep on Springfield. And now
then we just knocked all the way the fuck down.
Back to spring catch. Today we're keeping up with the field.
Right. Back to what y'all motherfuckers
Back to what
know.
y'all know. For real. Because I was like, damn, because that weekend was popping.
It was popping.
That weekend was popping.
And I remember, like, I was stopped a couple of times. People asking for directions, how to get. And I know how to. What restaurant you need?
Where you trying to go?
You need a suggestion?
Yes.
You got the right person.
Yes.
Because I know
seriously.
It
was nice. It was cool. But then I don't know what happened.
So that's what I said. That was PG. I wasn't talking about nothing.
It was. You definitely didn't have to like point out R. Kelly though. You could have just said.
I mean, I feel like that for any artist because there's today in the Me Too movement, someone's always in trouble for something, and it's like, oh, we can't listen to listen. Y'all taking away my whole fucking playlist. No, ma'am.
Right, like listen to what you want to listen to. Do what you want to do. Like
there's so much that goes into a song, from the producer to the background singer to the songwriter.
Sometimes it's not even about the artist.
The song was gonna be a hit regardless.
That's what I mean. Sometimes it's not even about the artist.
What I'm saying?
It's just a good song. Like it could have went to anybody.
So I'm not gonna be on that. We can't. No, if I like the song, I'm listening to it.
Exactly.
And if you and if you're mad, then don't watch my show.
Or listen.
But we know they're gonna listen. They can't get enough.
They can't.
Now the last episode we got into our song list, but we didn't get to finish it. So this is why this is part two. On our list, we did get through Leia,
Yes.
Bragg, India Shawn,
Yes.
Super Fine.
Yes, now
So this is number
Tank,
3.
Jamie Foxx. Tank and
Featuring
Jamie Foxx.
Tank.
Your sister.
So Tank wrote the song.
Did he?
And this song never came out. It's actually unreleased.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's why I love YouTube. YouTube has a lot of unreleased songs from artists.
So you just like go, do you type in unreleased songs from
I
artists?
do.
And just
I'm
see
just
what
that
pops
weird.
But isn't it kind of released if it's on YouTube?
It was leaked.
It was leaked.
Leaked.
Okay.
So that means it never actually made an album.
But it's
And you
there.
can't find it on iTunes.
You find a lot of songs.
You can
like
find
that.
it on YouTube.
I like Jamie Foxx a lot.
So the song is talking about they were in love with this woman until the
They
guy
found out.
met the woman's sister.
And then it
And-
switched.
Have you ever chose the wrong person?
Absolutely. No offense, baby.
I've never.
Clear that up real quick.
Listen.
Ooh, I have chose the wrong person before.
And so what was the aftermath? Did you cheat?
No. No, I didn't.
Did you want to cheat? Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I thought I chose the wrong person at one point.
You thought you chose the
I
wrong
thought I
person,
chose the wrong person at one point.
but you chose the right one.
I don't even know if it's the right. It's still in the making.
The jury's out.
The jury is out. Like, it's not that I wouldn't say that he's the wrong person. It's just like, sometimes it's not about choosing the wrong or right. It's like sometimes you have to, I don't want to say mold, but sometimes people need to be, I don't know. Everybody comes up from different lifestyles. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So something that this person may think is wrong or right, you may still feel differently. So sometimes you just got to kind of get on the same page. Like,
So their moral belief system may be a little bit different than
yes,
yours.
and it doesn't mean that they're the wrong person or we can't get on the same page. Like, example, I had a friend.
That most definitely means it's the wrong person.
You can fall in love with someone after you guys are together.
Yeah, that's because you fuck people too soon. You
It
fall
even
in
has
love
nothing
with
to
the
do with
dick.
that. Because even with, not trying to put my business out there, but
Please
even
do.
with my guy, now my fiance, like, it literally started off as just like a cuddy buddy situation. We talked about this. It was never supposed to be in a relationship. It never was. And
It
I
was a cutty nutty situation.
it's still nutty. So seriously, like, it was never supposed to be a relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
It wasn't. It wasn't.
and it turned into that. And like I said, like, if you would have asked me this 3 years ago, I'd be like, oh, I definitely picked the wrong person. But now it's just like, it's a growth thing. But when you never been with somebody, but I'm like the best he ever had. So the people that he's been with prior, they didn't know no better. They were just in the same boat as him. So you can't come up with you have to have, what's the word? How do I say this?
How do you say it?
You have to, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be able to benefit from them.
Yes,
You have
absolutely.
to be able to, you have to take something from each person. But if you are getting in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have anything that you can benefit from, you're not going to come up.
But you know what I've heard is no relationship is going to be
Perfect?
50-50.
It's
And
not.
I'm not even talking about money.
Right, just
I'm
in
just
general.
talking about somebody's always going to be way more in than the other person.
Right, but I think like if someone's low and then they get with someone that's even lower, there's no gain for either person. Maybe the lowest person,
What do we define as low?
the north side.
Oh my God! See, it wasn't me, y'all. It wasn't me, y'all.
Northside Chronicles.
Landfair finna get a upgrade. They say. A
What,
little
metal
renovation. No, don't do that. That's low. That's low.
That's what
No, they said they're gonna redo the whole school. Like
I've never even been in that school.
you should.
Is it bad?
Don't. I'm not even sure they don't have asbestos. Is that what you said?
So
I feel
my
like there's something in those walls.
my goddaughter's boyfriend, we were on FaceTime yesterday. She was on FaceTime with him. He was like, that's what they just added. They added he's like they added a tampon machine in the boys' bathroom at Lanphier.
To give to their girlfriend?
I swear, I'm like, why? He's like, look what they put in the boys' bathroom. A tampon machine. And he's showing it on FaceTime. I'm like, why? Why would they add a tampon machine in the boys' bathroom? Why?
For the transgenders.
Huh? Right. And then he
Bloody
said,
nose.
and then he said that they have to pay for. He also said that now you have to pay for paper towels now
What?
at Lanphier.
Are the blow machines?
I no.
Who is that knocking? That is so motherfucking ghetto. Every time we get surprises, do we not?
Every time.
I said the blow machines. What do you call them?
The blow, like the dryers.
The dryers.
hand dryers.
The dryers.
You know what your mind is? The blow machine? No.
Work with me, y'all.
But seriously, like, so that's what I mean. They're like adding stuff. So why would they add all this stuff?
But
They're gonna
that-
take?
so-
Are they planning on tearing down the whole school or just going through and
I mean, they've shown the blueprint.
Does it look good?
Yes. The construction company showed what they wanted to look like. there's no way you can't tear down. What they want to do, it's complete ground up. You know what I mean?
So it's like the whole reconstruction of the building is different.
Yeah. So I don't know if they just going to go hard for one summer.
Is this a District 186 thing?
It's
Who
like
pays for that?
It's a grant. You know, everything's a grant.
Everything's a grant.
And so I will say this. I don't fuck with the north side, but who the fuck was that at the door? Okay. Anyway, I don't fuck with Landfair like that, but they do need... Landfair, Southeast, and Springfield, they need a renovation.
Southeast is also over that side of town, right? It's like off of Jefferson, right? Kind of, sort of?
No.
Where's Southeast?
Southeast is on the east side.
Oh, Southeast is over there by Ball Charter.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Right by the pool.
And Southeast is actually the newest school.
Yeah.
So even the way Southeast is made...
Is that new?
The newest school.
That's where I went and took my police academy exam.
I don't think they had open till the 70s.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I took my police exam in their little auditorium. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, like we have
a college, like, look.
We had everything we need. We got the pool, we got the track and field. Because even Springfield, they borrow like the field across the
way over there, Southeast.
Yeah, no. By Springfield, why would they come all the way to Southeast?
Because first off, you say all the way like Springfield is big.
Listen,
Springfield's not that big. You can get from one side to the other side so quickly. So it's not even
speeding,
that.
We don't condone that.
Oh.
I'm saying Springfield, like they use think their baseball field or something as their track and field. So they're like, don't quote me if I'm wrong, y'all. I didn't go there. I'm a Spartan, bitch.
Spartan.
But I know I'm saying Southeast has everything it needs to be a school. Springfield has almost. Landfair got the shorts.
What are they missing?
They don't even have a real
They have a track and field because, like I told you, I took my police exam at Southeast, and I had to run the track for the police exam at Landfair in the rain.
I remember. Okay, their theater terrible.
They have a theater.
Like you said, at Southeast, we got the big auditorium.
Yes.
They don't they got a little.
See, I've never been in there, so I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's not giving.
It's not.
It's not. It's not giving.
So they need it.
They need it as much as I throw shade and all that.
They need it.
For the kids. For the
children. Especially
especially after the trauma they've endured.
You know what they need to do? They need to redo Douglas.
I forget Douglas exists. I always say that.
I don't.
I just I know you.
They need to do you know? No shade. No, okay, shade. Do you know my son had 8 classes, and guess how many teachers he had? 3.
Well,
3 teachers per 8 class.
They have a fantastic
the same person
staff,
his PE, science, English, and all that is like one teacher.
They have all-star teachers.
No, they have a shortage.
I hope they're getting paid double for that shit.
It's crazy.
I would be out as a teacher.
Seriously, he has 8 classes. Well, he had because he doesn't go there anymore. But he had 8 classes, 3 teachers. I'm just like, what? How are you? And we had to go to a conference. I'm like, how? They're like, we're just here. Okay, at this point, we're just here.
I think a lot of people, these professional institutions, what they used to harbor so hard on, they're so lenient now.
They are.
Because we have to have this.
And it's not like that anymore.
Bitch.
Just come to class. Just do what y'all need to do and
y'all
get the hell out of here.
Y'all just need attendance at this point.
And that's what it is. He didn't have homework. He didn't have to bring... I'm like, don't you have homework? Nope. Do you have this? Nope. We only have 3 teachers, Mom. It's fine.
Because they get paid off of...
Just them there. Just being there. And that's what it is. It's just from them being
I graduated early, a whole year earlier. And they did not... They did everything in their power for me not to do that. And I found out it's because I had a dollar sign over my head.
That's why.
Every child that leaves that school, that's money missing.
Yeah.
That's them. They can't redo the gym floors and put another logo on.
But, also, they really don't like to have that look of a child holding back. I made my son stay back because he was doing too much fighting and all that. So I made him stay back at Graham. And they were upset about it. They're like, rethink this. I'm like, I'm not about to pass my son to another grade when all year, all he did was fight and get into stuff. He learned nothing. He learned nothing. So they were so upset about that. I'm like, this is my decision. Because I think, here, you can't technically get held back to high school. Is that how that goes?
Is it the No Child Left Behind
type ordeal? I think so. Yeah, because they were not trying to leave him behind. I'm just like, he's smart, but no, you need to redo this. So
I almost think they kind of don't want to do that anymore because then they get left with that kind of lingering. This person is 19, 20.
See, I think at some point,
you know what I'm saying?
But I think the good thing is like my son started like his birthday is like a July birthday, so he missed like the cutoff. So like he still fits in with the age.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
But I do remember when I was in school, we had
no, because at some point it's just ridiculous.
I believe we had a 20-year-old.
I'm about to go.
I do, and I think since I've graduated, things have changed as far as the cutoff. I think now they would send them to Lawrence Adult just off the GP. But back then, I believe it was very.
What is Lawrence Adult exactly? Is that like a GED thingy?
GED.
I know where it's at, and I used to like driving for the bus company. Like I know what it is. I just don't know exactly what it is.
It is for when you want to get your GED.
Okay.
And it's also not just that. It's also for like, because people miss this part.
Right.
If you're a foreigner and you want to take classes on how to get better English and stuff like that.
You can go there too?
That's also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was going to be an au-pair. I had signed up to be an au-pair here for like foreign exchange students.
Who?
An au-pair. Like, so it's like people who, because foreign exchange students, because people get the check, they come in from different places and they come here.
So you was going to be a host?
A host for...
Why y'all got to do all this?
It's called an au-pair. That's what they called it. I was just, for foreign exchange students.
Au-pair was a nanny.
It is. I was au pairing these kids. So it's like kind of like a foster parent for like exchange students.
Okay.
So I took the class and everything. But the thing that worried me was you don't know who you're getting.
You sure don't.
And these people are coming from these countries, no offense, but they're coming from these countries, and like looking up stuff. These people can be mass murderers. These people can be, what I'm saying? Not all of them, obviously, but it's just like you just don't know who you're bringing to your house.
I will say we had a couple of them at our school.
How was that?
They were all very positive experiences.
You don't
Except for one time I had to curse Jimmy out.
Not Jimmy.
Because Jimmy, this white person.
First of all, that don't even sound like a foreign exchange student.
They got to give him something we can say because 26 letter names ain't gonna cut it.
Jimmy, it is JJ.
So this white person had made a kind of like a joke that was borderline racial,
racist?
But it's like not enough to get in trouble, but enough
it was
to
still
piss
there.
me the fuck off.
Right, and probably anybody else black that heard
and
it.
So Jimmy,
he didn't mean nothing by it.
he kind of chuckled with the rest. I'm like, oh, no, Jimmy. You is very oriental.
He couldn't chuckle?
No, because your ass is on the wrong team right now.
His name was Jimmy.
And he
was Gumtree.
He was Gumtree.
He was Gumtree.
Ghetto and country.
Gumtree.
No, like, I don't think he actually knew.
What
it was that thing of you trying to fit in, and it's like a nervous laugh.
just
but I'm
talked
like,
about this,
I have
like,
to get you together.
So you know not to do it again.
Because they don't really fuck with you like you think they do.
While you over here trying to act like you part of the crew.
It's a culture shock, but you are in this, for my lack of better language, to them you are a nigger too. Yeah. So was he like an African type of deal? Was he dark black?
No.
He was like Asian.
Really?
Yeah.
But if the road was a split, he's going with the niggas.
Right. And I just want to make people know the joke. I was not called a nigger in a joke, but the thing was, it was just like
too much.
Nah. Yeah. No.
Right, it's just too much.
I'm too witty. See, the thing about it is, I don't want to talk about our race. But sometimes we're not the most sarcastic people and witty people, and sometimes they just don't.
It goes right over your head.
Yes, and I'm like, no.
I caught that. I don't like that.
You get what I'm saying?
It's crazy because like I used to have I had a driver and he used to make all kinds of jokes and they would be like so racist. Like, and then I know there's this one guy, he worked there and he got fired because he made the joke like. And it wasn't even a joke. He was actually upset. But he said something to the effect of, like, oh, I'm so tired of, like, because the bus had broke down or something. He's like, I'm so tired of you motherfuckers nigger rigging shit.
Wow.
And to him, he's like, I don't understand why that's a problem. Like, I wasn't trying to be racist. It's just, nigger rigging. Like, you guys, like, but he didn't understand that it was like.
I don't believe he didn't understand because
exactly.
there is many different ways to say different
Jimmy
things.
rigging or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this boy said, I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers nigger rigging shit. Like, you can't say that.
There's other ways to say that.
It is.
You can say patched up. You can say raggedy.
Right.
You can say half-assing.
Yes. There were so many different ways.
Why do people, their vocabulary is so lazy? We just automatically, like I say, when it comes to white people, why do y'all want to say the word so bad? Like, I don't go around calling people...
You call them pilgrims.
That's not racist.
Oh, to who?
But, okay. Is that racist,
It hurts
Zach?
him.
Well, it also hurt when y'all took our land. Get over it.
And it hurt your girl when you took her hairspray.
You're just
I bought it for her.
You're a
She
colonizer.
bought the first one for
Right.
This is white patriarchy at its
Man.
finest.
But yeah, like people like you said, exactly. But like you said, like people just
I mean, I don't
yeah.
go around. Okay, I think I'm gonna be honest. I think the most racist thing I probably say is I have a bad habit of calling Ching Ling and Ming. I don't think I should be doing that.
Probably not. Why did I have to have those names?
But I don't think it has the same connotation as nigger.
Because you're a nigger.
And you know why I say that?
Is it with that nigger?
You know
ER?
why I say that? Because that is an American thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it's very known.
Nigger was a white and black American conflict.
But you know, it just
And
means
so
like an ignorant
when
person.
I go,
though.
if I go to Japan, is Ching Ling Ming going to get you the same response as nigger in America? No.
Are you sure?
I've tested it out.
When the hell have you been to Asia? When have you been to
I
Asia?
have friends.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
But I mean, like, yeah, I get it because that's like you said, it's like that word for black people is so known, and we know what when someone says it, we know what you're meaning, depending on the person who you are. Like I said, like
I said, but that is our culture. So when you go to different cultures, what is the name or the word that is just like,
oh no,
whatever that is offensive.
it is.
But I don't think Ching Ling Ming is it.
It's just long. Why are you making this nickname so long? Is what I want to know.
And I also don't go around calling Mexican. There's explicitives
Like
that Mexicans
wet.
don't like with the
The
WB.
West,
We know what it is,
the West
or
stuff.
the S word.
Yes.
They don't like that.
Right.
I'm not out here breaking my neck. Why can't I say that?
Right.
I'm not gonna say it.
But you do have people that are
And
like
that
really
gets
wanting to
them-
say the word.
That gets them, and that gets them fighting upset. So that means something to them where they're
When
from.
you say that.
You get what I'm saying? I've never seen an Asian get mad at Ching Ling Ming.
Right.
They may respond.
Right.
Oh,
right.
what you need with that?
'Cause that actually may be right. You know what I'm saying? That actually may be their name.
You
like
get what I'm saying?
one of those three names may actually be their name.
I just don't understand why, when it comes to white people, why y'all just have to. They want rights to it. They want the license.
They want to be
say
able
it.
to say it so
Yes.
bad. And
It's
just like,
weird.
why?
It's very weird to me.
It's like why?
Yeah.
It's like why? It's not even that serious.
That's what I said. I don't believe. Oh, he just didn't know. I don't believe that.
The way he
No.
said it, and that's the thing. And then you go back to the background. He's in a small town. He's like, you
And
know
they
what I mean?
know what that means.
And you know
they
exactly. And
when
then
you
he
say
said it
that.
in a mad, offensive way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and why would you say that? First off, you know what I'm saying? Like you said. So dealing with like, and it's crazy because racism is really a big thing still.
And this for one, this is 2022. We have TV. We have YouTube.
Yeah.
Everybody is. The education on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate is everywhere.
You know what it is.
You get what I'm saying?
You know what it is. Like before, maybe you're like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But you know.
No, it's not gonna fly.
But you
No.
know what's sad when it's going back is like when you come in contact with kids that don't know because of their
Because
parents.
They're coming off the adults.
And so it's
Yeah.
just like, how do you react? Because it's just like, you know that they don't know, but that's what they were brought
I
up
talk
at.
to them as I would anybody in my community. Oh, no, that ain't gonna fly.
Right.
Where your mama at?
Right,
Your daddy
that
at?
part.
Let's nip this in the bud.
And let's go
right
there
now.
from there. Exactly. Exactly.
Show me. Where's she at?
Where is she? Exactly. Because obviously you weren't taught that. You weren't
That's how
taught.
I deal with conflict. So, our next song.
The next song.
This list is so. This is how I know. The songs don't like you, maybe. Because this is very hard for us to get through songs.
Omarion, Temptation.
So this is not a new song.
It's
but
not.
This is off of Omarion's.
Album?
This is his first. No, I'm not gonna say his first, but one of his first independent albums.
Yeah.
And I have to give him credit.
He didn't even have braids.
Yeah.
He didn't have hair.
I have to give him credit. I always give credit to those artists who were independent before independent was cool.
Like a Ludacris?
He was.
He was.
I almost forgot.
Ludacris.
He was.
He
Yeah.
came up by himself.
He was.
He did. Independent. Real independent.
But this is even like Omarion. This is after him being like hot, and then he makes a decision
To go
to
independent.
be independent. And this is before, like, now everybody's independent, but
Everybody says
this is before it was a thing.
thing.
You know what I mean? So this is off of, is the album called Illusion? Like a play off of Omarion, Illusion.
See, I like
Illusion.
Omarion, you know, but I'm not
You don't
I'm
like
not.
the song?
I don't know. It's not that I don't like the song. I just don't follow him like that. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh.
like him, but it's just not like I'm not gonna buy
One
an
thing
album.
about me is I love Omarion music.
Why?
And people find that so surprising.
Why?
Damn, that's like the 4th time.
Second.
You can't tell me you're not selling pussy.
First off, it's the hubby. He only gets 15 minutes to talk, but I'm gonna answer in a second. I think we only
Anyway,
got like 15 minutes.
anyway, we're so not gonna get to Will Smith.
That's the next show. On the next
Do you
episode.
want us to just put this list away and talk about Will Smith?
You know what? You want to end with a bang? Or smack? Whatever.
We're not gonna make it to this list. Okay, I'm gonna just do this list next week and give
Okay.
you some more songs.
So we're gonna stop on Omarion Temptation. Do you like the song? You just like Omarion.
I think I'm a fan of him in general, and I just feel like he can't do no wrong musically. I love his voice. He has a very unique voice, and the thing about it is he's not like a grand.
Is it because he got that icebox where his heart used to be?
That's not even the song I fell in love with him over. And you know, I didn't like when I
You don't like his baby mama
when
either, do
I
you?
say I like Omarion, I really wasn't even like on B2K like that for real.
I'm about to say,
I like single artists.
Do you like his baby mama?
I do, and I'm so glad she's with Tay Diggs. I think
She's
fit.
with Tay Diggs now?
Yeah. You're definitely not on TikTok.
I'm not a talker. I didn't know that.
They
Are they a cute
do
couple?
videos all the time. They were on the red carpet at the Oscars and everything.
Oscars.
The Critic Choice Awards.
The Oscars.
And they do lots
Like
of videos.
skits?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Are they cute?
They're funny.
Are they funny?
You know, Tay Diggs is a
Comedian?
comedian.
Yes.
And she's funny. I've never...
Is she funny? Like sincerely funny? Because you know some people like put on a fake funny.
No.
Like
And the
she's
thing about it is, I never liked, had an issue with April. A lot of people disliked her from the show.
What's a show?
But...
They thought she was grimy because she started messing with Lil Fizz.
I mean, that was kind of grimy, but it was like something I would probably do, so...
That doesn't mean it's not grimy. that makes it even worse.
But yes, the Oscars. I didn't like it. I thought it was very ghetto, niggerish. Here I am using that word, but I had license to use it. Listen, okay.
You think you should have handled it differently?
For one, she do look like G.I. Jane. Let's just say that. Okay.
For two, he actually laughed at the joke in the beginning.
He laughed at the joke.
He didn't take it
And-
offensive until he's like, oh,
Here's the thing. I don't think if... Oh, you saw my eyes? They raised. That means I was about to turn into Big Mama.
Oh, not Big Mama. Yeah.
No, I really think that the joke was funny. And I'm not a big fan of Chris Rock. I don't think Chris Rock is...
Like the shit like, oh my goodness, I can't
but
believe.
I was like, oh, the one time he actually is funny, this is what happens.
You thought that joke was funny?
I thought it was funny.
I don't think the joke was funny. It was plain. But I don't think it was that
It was-
offensive. He said, can't wait for the next G.I. Jane to come out.
Here's
type
my
video.
thing. I was watching Power. I had made a decision I was going to watch the Oscars because I had saw a couple of YouTubers on the red carpet. I'm going to pay attention to the fashion.
Okay.
So I'll get to the fashion of whatever, even if I don't watch the show. Because
Right.
I'm big on fashion.
Right.
And I just want to say, with that being said, okay, the reason I love the Oscars coming up was because of, I didn't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of the big things we got to watch. And my mom she worked at a hospital. And she used to always bring me, and this is probably today, they were like, oh, this is so unsanitary.
What?
But they would have Vogue magazines.
Okay.
And she would always bring them home to me after the month. Because, they got the monthly
So then you'd be able to see
subscription.
the Oscars, what they wore for the Oscars.
Well, I would just be like, I love, you know how I am with my
Yeah.
photo shoots and how I dress and all that. It was like these great outfits I get to see in a book all the time.
Right,
It's
and
like,
now you
I
can
get to
actually see them on
people.
yes.
So it was exciting to me.
Yes,
And it was
okay.
like, oh, this is couture. This is
That
high
actually looks good
fashion,
put
this is-
together. That actually looks good
So
on her.
in my
yeah.
mind, I've always viewed the Oscars on an upscale level.
For fashion.
And yes. And that's just as a child.
So you think that was just not called for? That was just ghetto.
And
you said.
also, the reason why it wasn't called for, because as I got older, I realized the Oscars is an international programming.
It is.
It's like the Super Bowl. Yes, it is an American-based show, but everybody in the
around
world watches it. Yeah.
And it's such a big audience.
Yes.
So diverse.
Very diverse audience.
Yes.
And so I'm just like,
why would you do that?
when people are watching this is when we need to be on our best behavior.
It's just like, I think it goes back to like, you've been in worse situations. Like, he's been in worse situations where he could have acted like that in a different scene. But on there, it's just like, dude.
And so I was watching Power. Desiree, she sends me this video. Oh my gosh, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock. First of all, there's this conflict of smack and punch. I've heard smacked and punched. And
he smacked him.
What was it? Okay.
He smacked him.
So I kind of looked at him like, oh, well, this is the Oscars. You know, they do skits and stuff like that. I immediately brushed it off as a skit.
But you know what? It kind of, the way he hit him, it kind of looked like it could have been a skit.
It could have.
Like the way he like did like this, like it could have looked like it could have been a skit. Because I did too. I'm like, that's not real. Yeah, I'm like, that wasn't real. But then he started cussing and doing all the extra stuff. I'm like, oh, he was
and
serious.
that was a thing, because I was like, I looked at the video she sent me, and I was like,
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's a different actor.
It was all the same.
So,
he was so aggressive.
I really feel like once Power was done, I checked my Twitter, because y'all know I love me some Twitter.
Were you checking for the smack or were you checking for porn?
I was checking for
Never mind.
checking for the weather.
Well, on Twitter. You could ask Siri, okay? You didn't have to go on Twitter for about that.
And so I'm like,
5 minutes.
everybody's going on and on and on and on and on. I'm like, why are we going on and on about a skit? Because I've already brushed it off.
So you still was thinking it was a skit this whole time?
Yeah, because I looked at it, I'm like, then I went back to watching Power.
Right.
And then Power, I'm like, everybody's. Then I saw the other
stuff.
You know, him, like you said, screaming from his seat.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, whether it was fake or real, at this point, nobody has come in and said it wasn't real.
Exactly.
So people are going to take it for what they saw.
And I thought it was a skit at first, too. I really did.
And the thing, people are impressionable.
Yeah.
What I see about this, I see two black men fighting on a worldwide stage.
And
stage. I was like, once it clicked to me that this is a thing, I said, real or fake, this is a thing, I immediately cringed.
Like, why would you do that?
Because I'm like, I got to go to work in the morning, and I'm the only black person in my department, and this is what they're going to be talking about.
Of course.
And I can't tell them, this is a black people issue, stay out of it. This is an international show.
The Oscars.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, though. That's what I mean. That's just like, you know, people were making little skits like, you ain't smack August like that type ordeal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were, like, saying little things, like,
I totally, I don't know where Will's frustration is coming from.
You think it's something deeper?
Absolutely, it's something deeper. And the thing about it is, we do know they're in an open relationship. My thing with the open relationship is the problem a lot of people run into is, and that's what this also makes us look bad. The people that is pro-open, it just makes us look.
Because people get angry with it. They're really not okay with the open relationship.
That's what I was saying.
So they take their anger out on a whole nother situation.
He's been putting on a show telling us he's fine with it, and you're not okay.
He's not, and he just needed someone to take his anger out on.
Yes.
And that was the opportunity for him. But he didn't have to do it there.
And not on another black man. On a joke, like you said, you didn't think it was funny. I thought it was funny.
I didn't think it was funny, but I also didn't think it was that serious. You know what I mean? He just kind of said like, "Oh, can't wait for the next," you know what I'm saying, G.I. Jane to come out. Like, it wasn't like, it just wasn't so detailed to be taken that serious.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, he didn't like pinpoint the alopecia. He didn't pinpoint like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got it, I guess. But truthfully, to be honest, I didn't know she had alopecia. Because she's always cut her hair like that, so it could have. I think he blew it over proportion. Like, people who
my
knew.
whole thing about Jada is, okay, so she did kind of like roll her eyes. She seemed a little bit upset with the joke, but at the same time, like, Jada is above average when it comes to looks.
Yes.
Jada, you're going to look stunning with hair or without.
But that's
Nobody
what I'm saying.
cares.
She's cut her hair before, like, and with no hair. So that's why I didn't think it was that serious.
Nobody has ever flinched at Jada and be
for
like,
having no hair.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people just thought that she just cut her hair because she's done it before. So, like I said, the joke thing when he said what he said, like, unless people actually knew about her condition, I don't think they even took it serious because, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know. People didn't know. I didn't know it was like alopecia that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Will made it a big thing. I think that he made it a big thing.
I think it was a thing of, I just think she don't like Chris. She has personal vendetta with him.
Issues.
She don't like him because everybody and their mama was chuckling at that joke.
Yeah.
She don't like him.
It's like a personal thing.
You get what I'm
And for
saying?
him to go up there and do that, like, you're not that mad. Because I'm pretty sure, no offense, but I'm pretty sure she's had worse things said to her. And
This-
him, too.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So for him to say that, it's like, what was the problem?
And worse things said from people from other races.
Exactly.
So why?
And how could you take that like that?
And I don't like this whole narrative that, oh, well, when white people do it, y'all don't got no. For one thing, we as a people, as black people, 1 minute we're kings and queens.
The next minute.
If you're saying you're the original people, because that's what they say too, we were here first, and
Yeah.
we're the indigenous people of the land, we're the standard.
Exactly.
We set what is appropriate and what's not appropriate.
Exactly.
And they're talking about, I'm not saying, and I'm not even the one to say a fight is never necessary.
Right.
Time and place.
That just wasn't the time and place. He could have handled that later.
Fight at a bar.
Yeah.
Fight
It's
at
a
the
time
NBA games.
and a
I can
place.
even see fighting at NBA games because everybody's got the
Their
adrenaline,
adrenaline rushing.
steroids.
But that just wasn't the time and place.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't dislike Will any less than I did. It's just like,
It's just like, to me, it's like somebody fighting at Panera versus McDonald's. McDonald's,
it's expected, especially
it's
when on North Grand.
expected. In South Grand.
Oh, we know. I was almost one of them.
Yeah.
I was almost one of them.
Right.
So yeah, like,
I would,
seriously.
if somebody were to like just go ham in Panera, I would be in awe.
'Cause it's like that's not even that
This
type of
is
crowd.
Starbucks, what are y'all doing?
Like, what is y'all really fighting over at this
Yes.
point? Like, it's not that serious.
And my whole thing is, if we're kings and queens, if we are royalty, royalty knows time and place. Royalty understands that. Because the thing about it, black people's going back and forth with that. Well, we just pull up. That's how we do.
That's so
Da-da-da-da.
ghetto.
But I thought y'all was,
Kings and queens, a higher
and
standard.
I thought y'all taught white people how to wash their ass. Because that's what y'all say. Oh, we had to teach them how to put deodorant on and how to, because they wasn't, y'all all that.
Like, it's like,
but y'all
you
don't
can't
understand.
half-ass it.
But y'all
Like,
don't understand the basis of.
it's a time and a place.
Yes.
It's a time and a place. And patience is of the virtue. Like, patience is everything. You can handle a situation, and sometimes it may even be worse. And you know what I'm saying? And then, but that goes back to a relationship. Like, I know how to, you got the people who, if you're getting into it with your significant other, you have people that don't understand how to still put on face. It's not being fake. If you're at an event and you get into it with your significant other, the whole room should not know that you're into it with this person.
Well, I'm going to say this. For me, if I don't like a person in a room and we're at like a black tie event or something like that, I'm going to be honest. I'm just not going to talk to you.
Exactly. But you're not going to
I'm
make a
not gonna-
scene like, oh, say shit, look, to egg it on. But I mean, even
On
like
spot.
But even like on a relationship basis though, you know what I'm saying? If you're there with your significant other and you and your significant other get into an argument, or example, we went to the incident that happened with me, like we went to the fashion show and
Yeah.
I addressed the situation. The significant other didn't like how I addressed it and just made a big scene.
Yeah.
To me, like, it's like there's a time and a place. We could have, like, I addressed what I didn't like. It could have, the whole room should not have known
Exactly.
that we were into it.
Exactly.
You know, they just shouldn't know.
they're going to know me when I wrote, like she said, she wrote her eyes. Well, we obviously, there's something going on, shit like that. But that's where it ends.
Exactly.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he made it more than it needed to
And
be.
I was so upset because it took away from all of the other things worth celebrating. Like the fact that he was actually there because King Richard, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, that took away from their.
But that goes back to, like you said, it was a personal issue.
Yes.
I don't think
also
it was
took
really
away
just
from
that.
Questlove winning an Oscar for his
And
documentary.
then he still won an Oscar, though, didn't he?
Yes. He still won an.
That's the thing. He still won an Oscar. So,
And that's why I
apologize.
said, but that's what also made it very, for
Awkward.
me. You can see it was awkward because they kept pinning the camera on Venus and Serena when he won because they want their reaction and they just don't know how to
react.
And the thing about it is all this protecting the black woman. They were unprotected.
Yeah, at that point.
You get what I'm saying?
At that point.
They were unprotected.
He's probably not going to be invited back.
He shouldn't.
And it's just
He
going to be
shouldn't.
like, though, you know what I mean? Because I think he told me that he doesn't even usually go to those events like that or something like that. Like,
Well, they claim they were boycotting it. But it's funny you were boycotting it until you were nominated.
right. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
get
Make it
what I'm
make
saying?
sense.
Oh,
Right.
we're boycotting this. Well, bitch, you weren't even...
Right.
you weren't
Right.
even on the list.
Right. So how much boycotting are you really doing at this point? Exactly.
But, when it's time... I was nominated for Best Actor.
and
I
he
have
still
to
went
show
up there like he was just like...
my whole thing is, because we got to go soon.
Yeah.
You're the black woman in the room. Do you feel unprotected? Because that's the big thing.
Not if I have Will on my side.
Huh?
Not if I have Will on my side.
Oh my God. If you have
Pull
Will,
it up, smack him.
if you have Will on your side and the other person on the other side is not Chris Rock, you may not be as protected as you think.
But that's why I
because
go
he
back.
wasn't gonna pull up on the
People
Rock.
pick their battles.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's just like you pick on who you know you
Will
can pick
is
on.
like terribly taller than the man. He's bigger in weight.
But I will say Chris Rock handled that very well.
Very well.
He did handle that very well.
Very, very well.
Very professional. And he still kind of made it like I just got smacked by Will. You know what I'm saying? He tried to still
That's
make it
why
like,
I said.
and that's why I thought it was a skit too. Like the way he smacked him down, and then he was like,
I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Because of Chris.
Exactly.
You
The
get
way
what
he
I'm saying?
reacted.
Yes.
Like, because anybody else
Yes.
would have probably reacted different. Maybe.
Will is the bad person. And I'm going to just say this. I love the new Bel-Air show. It's
Yes.
way different than Fresh Prince. But I'm going to just say this. I've never been the biggest Will Smith fan.
Ooh.
Because I always thought he came off fake,
Really?
pretentious,
Like fake
trying
Hollywood?
to be liked.
Really?
I like maybe two of his movies.
It goes
Collateral
back.
Beauty, Hancock. Now, 2 movies out of all of his movies, that's low because he's a movie star. You get what I'm saying? I did not like the original Fresh Prince. I was a living single Martin kind of guy. Fresh Prince for me was, well, if ain't nothing else on in this
This
12
what I'm
o'clock.
But you know what? It goes back to what we said earlier. Before we get out of here, it goes back to what we said earlier. People show their true colors over time.
That's what I'm like. People's like, Will.
That's not usually how he acts.
This is who Will has been all these years, and I knew it. As a child, I knew it. Fake ass motherfucker. Now I see it. I'm right again. I'm always right.
Yes.
Oh, this is really becoming a speech about me.
Yes. And then
He's never been that guy for me personally, and I'm gonna just say this too. I still like Jada. I've always liked Jada.
I like
Because for
Jada.
me, Jada has always been herself. She's the hood chick.
Yeah, and she's
Now,
that.
he has buyer's remorse because his first wife is now married to a pastor. What that tells me, his first wife was a little bit more conservative,
Yeah.
a little bit more laid back, a
And
little bit more
Jada's
his
Jada.
speed.
Yeah, that's why he was okay with going to her and telling her like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to be with Jada.
Right.
Because he said that. He's like, I just went up to her. We had a conversation. I just said, hey, I don't want to be with you.
But
know what I'm saying? Like,
Jada, her hands ain't clean in this either. But what I will say is, she's acting like a hood bitch would act.
well, next time.
I knew we've all known who she was since Set It Off. You know what I mean?
it's Will.
He's the one who's been acting.
Jada's always been Jada.
She's
and
always
she'll
been
let you know
Jada.
what it is.
Yeah,
So.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But like I said, Will, like the whole last episode we talked about change. Will ain't change. It's who you are.
And on that note,
we did that.
we out of here.
In 10 minutes, we did that.
Outta
Didn't we
here.
that?
It's more like 20. But we're out of here.
See y'all.
Bye.